Everyone, today our topic is mobile TCP. Okay, in last classes we have discussed about snooping TCP, advantages and also disadvantages of snooping TCP. In today's class we will discuss about mobile TCP. Okay, so here mobile TCP is also having the same goals like indirect TCP and snooping TCP have. But here this approach will be a little bit different, and it will prevent some problems in indirect TCP and snooping TCP. Like it want to improve overall throughput, and also it wanted to lower the delay. Overall throughput means uh, whatever the drawbacks are there, to overcome that drawbacks and give the proper throughput. And lower the delay means giving the acknowledgements or sending the packets within the certain amount of time. It has to improve that. And it also want to maintain end-to-end semantics of the TCP, means transparency on both sides, source and destination have to be maintained, and also to provide more efficient handover. So mobile TCP mainly works on the handover. Okay, in case of handover, when mobile host will move from one place to another place, that is called an handover. When it moves from one place to another place, data has to be transferred to the new location of the mobile host without any packet loss in the middle. It also works on that mobile TCP. And additionally, mobile TCP is also especially adapted to the problems arising from the lengthy or frequent disconnections. Means we are transmitting data over wireless network. Means mobile device can be moved from one place to another place, and also it can have the disconnection in the middle. If at all signal is not proper, then disconnection will be taking place. When disconnection occurred, then that time packet will not be reached to the mobile host. Okay, in that case also mobile TCP works well. And mobile TCP splits the TCP connection into two parts, like indirect TCP does. Like standard TCP is used in the fixed network, and wireless TCP is used over the wireless network. Okay, like whatever the indirect TCP is using, the same will be followed by the mobile TCP also. Okay, means if at all mobile host is not having the connection, then data cannot be transferred to the mobile host. Then that time sender tries to retransmit the packet, unacknowledged packet. Means whenever packet reaches to the destination, then only destination will be giving the acknowledgement for that packet. If packet itself is not reaching to the destination, then no host will be getting the acknowledgement. So here whenever the mobile host is in the disconnection mode, that time sender tries to retransmit the packet every minute, and it after retransmitting the packet every minute, it will give up after 12 retransmissions. 12 retransmissions means after 12 minutes it will give up retransmitting the packet, because mobile host is still in disconnection. Then what happens if connectivity is back? After connectivity is back, the retransmission timeout is still valid and sender has to wait. Now sender also go will not be go will not adopt the slow start mechanism, because it is mobile host is in disconnection, but it is not facing any congestion problem. So that is the reason, without starting the slow start mechanism, sender will retransmit the packet after connection comes. Okay, so here how the mechanism is used in mobile TCP is, it prevents the sender window from shrinking if bit error occurs. Okay, so first it will set the window size equal to 0. Means sender equal to 0 means, if sender sets that window size equal to 0 means it is in the persistent mode. Sender will not change no matter how long the receiver is disconnected. Means it will not try to retransmit the packet until the window size is changed by the sender. Okay. So here a mobile host will always monitored by supervisory host. A special host is used here called supervisory host, which monitors all packets that are sent to the mobile host and acknowledgements which are returned from the mobile host. So here supervisory host acts as a mediator for the mobile host, and also it checks everything about the mobile host. So whenever disconnection is seen, then the supervisory host will set the window size 0. Setting this window size 0 tells the sender that there is no congestion, no need to start the slow start mechanism. It is just a disconnection. Soon after connection, mobile host will tell the supervisory host will tell the sender that disconnection has gone, connection has came up again. So it reopens the window size of the sender to the old value. Whatever the old value is there, to that old value supervisory host will set the window size. Setting the window size to the old value by the supervisory host tells the sender that connection came and now it can retransmit the data. Now sender will continue sending at the full speed. This mechanism does not require any changes to the sender TCP, because it just tells that a mobile host is in disconnection mode by setting the window size 0. After connection, it will give the old value to the window size, which tells about the connectivity again. So there is no requirement for changing the original sender's TCP here. Okay, TCP will then recover from the packet loss much faster, because here only disconnectivity is there, not the congestion. So this modified TCP does not use the slow start, because there is no congestion. Though that is the reason slow start mechanism will not be used. Okay, and also here a bandwidth manager is used who implement the fair sharing over the wireless link. Whatever the data transmission is there, that is shared by the bandwidth. So this is one of the best method used in the wireless network, because here transparency is there between source and destination, and here directly TCP will not falls into the slow start mechanism, as congestion is not seen, and TCP will not assume congestion here because of disconnectivity. Directly mobile host will tell about the disconnectivity. So that is the reason here TCP will not fall into the slow start mechanism. Okay. So coming to the advantages of TCP, it maintains end-to-end semantics, because whatever the packet, whatever the acknowledgement is sent by the mobile host, only that packet will be sent to the sender by the supervisory host. So end-to-end semantics is maintained. Like foreign agent, here supervisory host will act as a mediator and also monitors everything over the wireless link about the mobile host. And if the mobile host is disconnected, it avoids useless retransmission. So disconnectivity is seen here. Without knowing about the disconnectivity, if you continuously retransmit the packet, it is nothing but unnecessary traffic over the wireless link. So to avoid that situation, supervisory host will set the window size to the 0. So it is one of the advantages, as it avoids the unless useless retransmissions, and also it will not slow start or it will not break the connection by just shrinking the window size. And the third advantage is no buffering is done in the like in ITCP. In ITCP, what happens every time if acknowledgement is not received, continuously packets are sent to the destination. Here that is not done, because soon after disconnection window size is set to 0, which tells the sender to stop the retransmissions. So buffering is also not done like ITCP is having. and lost packets will be automatically retransmitted to the supervisory host, and supervisory host, which monitors everything about the mobile host, will transmit the packet to the mobile host. So these are the coming to the disadvantages. Supervisory host does not act as a proxy here, like a mediator, like a foreign agent here. So packet loss on the wireless link due to the bit errors is propagated to the sender. Just an information is given, so everything has to be taken care by the sender and destination here. Whereas in ITCP, foreign agent will be taking care of packet loss and everything. Here, supervisory host just monitors and gives the suggestions, but not it will not take the complete authority over the packet loss and transmissions. So that is one of the disadvantages here. And one more disadvantage is this modified TCP on the wireless link is not only require modification to the mobile host protocol software, but also new network elements like bandwidth manager. To monitor mobile host, a supervisory host is developed here. Means a new mechanism is used over the TCP. This new mechanism again needs some techniques, again needs some software. So all these are like costly. So this is one of the disadvantage. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the mobile TCP. And when compared to the snooping TCP and indirect TCP, mobile TCP will work well because it will avoid unnecessary retransmissions over the wireless link, and also it will not force the TCP to fall into slow start mechanisms, assuming the congestion. So that is the reason when compared to the indirect TCP and snooping TCP, mobile TCP works well when handover takes place and also when disconnections are seen over the wireless link. This is all about mobile TCP advantages and disadvantages. Thank you.